Rover, Carlotta, it's been too long.
एक्चुअली मैं रिकॉर्ड करना भूल गया था क्योंकि यूजुअली जब भी मैं वुदरिंग वेव्स को रिकॉर्ड करने की कोशिश करता हूँ इसका ऑडियो हमेशा रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं होता है ना। ये दिक्कत की बात है। अगर ऑडियो इसका रिकॉर्ड हो रहा रहता तो वुदरिंग वेव्स का स्टार्टिंग से लेकर अब तक का सब रिकॉर्ड करके डाल दिया होता, लेकिन नहीं। दिक्कत तो होते ही रहते हैं। अभी मैंने चेक किया है, मेरा ऑडियो फिक्स हो गया है। मतलब अपडेट में, गेम के अपडेट्स में ही प्रॉब्लम था। मतलब शुरुआत में जब भी इंटरनल ऑडियो और नॉर्मल ऑडियो के साथ रिकॉर्ड करने की कोशिश करता था, होता ही नहीं था ये।
You really must adore that song. I remember hearing you sing it when I was little.
म्यूजिक को थोड़ा एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा शायद मुझे। You knew each other as children. रोवर का डिसअपॉइंटमेंट
When
देखो।
I was a child, whenever I passed by Chacona's house, I'd always hear music drifting from the courtyard. Lively, spirited, and so full of emotion.
लगता है थोड़ा लैग हो रहा है, मुझे लग रहा है लैग हो रहा है, बाद में पता चलेगा।
I remember it well. Those two guards of yours were like giants from Septimont. Easily 200 pounds of pure muscle.
Back then, Chacona's family conducted the Order's choir.
नहीं, एक्चुअली मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रही, ये स्टोरी क्वेस्ट है कि इवेंट क्वेस्ट है करके। फिर ये डायलॉग खत्म होने पर देखना पड़ेगा क्या कौन सा क्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ करके। Then why is Chicona a wandering bard?
How should I put it? Well, as they say, families are always rising and falling. But a song is a song, whether sung in a grand hall or beneath the open sky. As for family matters, let the past stay where it belongs.
फिर से किसी पास रिलेटेड ड्रामा।
Anyway, the two of you came in such a hurry. I suppose you're not here to take in the music?
कार्लोटा पिद्दी लग रही है रोवर के सामने।
Oh, so you eavesdropped on a man rambling on in C3 sharp, and then, poof, out pops a monster.
You're missing the point.
It is the point. I need to know what kind of music could possibly have the power to conjure up those monsters of yours.
अरे हाँ, हमारे जो मेन स्टोरी क्वेस्ट में ये म्यूजिक के थ्रू ही तो हमें वो कौन है टाइम याद नहीं आ रहा है। अरे कौन है वो, कार्तथिया। हाँ, कार्तथिया से मिलवाती है और उसी सॉरी माइक में लगी। सो उसी डायमेंशन में, मतलब उसी फ्रीक्वेंसी डायमेंशन में हम लोग फिर से कार्तथिया से बात करते हैं। मतलब कार्तथिया का इल्यूजन उधर अलग से नाचते रहती है, रोवर का अपना इल्यूजन उधर जा रहा है। फिर कार्तथिया असली रोवर के साथ आके बात करती है। पूरा भसड़ था वो टाइम।
The Golden Anthem. That name should never be spoken. They're criminals. To conspire with them is to risk banishment at sea. Or worse.
That's okay.
Don't worry. This won't be the first time we've crossed paths with the Order.
Fine. From what you've told me, the composers of this poem cursed Renacita, spelling the fall of Raguna.
अरे हाँ, ये एरिया का नाम रघुना था। मुझे वांगलोंग में रहने का बहुत आदत हो गया।
When the poem is played, some type of horror appears. If I understand correctly, that's what attacked you and Carlotta. If you ask me, this story is a right load of codswallop. I don't believe a simple little poem could curse Renacita.
Then you...
We need to get to the heart of this poem and music mystery. Let me join you. I can't resist a good adventure.
आँख चमक रहा है इसका।
I'll help you find the link between the music and those daemons. But in return, I want you to hand these pages to me for safekeeping.
Sure, no problem. Music
Then we
ज़्यादा
have
है।
a deal. Since you believe this music summons them, how about we test it for ourselves? I've already memorized the sheet music.
It's risky, but there's no surer way to find out. Wouldn't you agree, Rover?
I'm well prepared.
The final work of poets banished to distant seas and condemned to death. What, I wonder, did the verses forged in flames truly sing of?
Oh, अभी सबने गिटार ला ली. नहीं, गिटार क्या है ये? यूजुअली जो है ना, ऐसे गेम्स में ज़्यादा बात करने के लिए रहता नहीं है. और इधर कैसे डिस्कॉर्ड हमारे ऊपर अटैक करने के लिए आ गए. ओह या, ये मेरे पास रोवर नहीं है, मेरे पास कार्लोटा है. एक सेकेंड, ट्रायल रेजोनेटर्स मत दो. मैं अपने रेजोनेटर्स के साथ फाइट करना चाहता हूँ. अच्छा चलो, ट्रायल रेजोनेटर.
They are just like the ones that attacked us in the restaurant.
और मैं लैग कर रहा हूँ. हाँ पक्का लैग करूँगा मैं.
Brilliance lights the way.
ये तो टिकने वाले नहीं है, ये तो ऐसे ही खत्म हो जाएंगे. जीत गए. ओ नहीं,
All of you at once. I don't do overtime.
मेरा तो इतना लैग कर रहा है. FPS मस्त मार खा रहा है मेरा गेम का. वाओ,
That's a wrap.
रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ ना, FPS बहुत बुरी तरह से गिरा हुआ
My
है.
shield can
Ow.
withstand more than that.
Surrender. Take this.
ओके. वो इसका नाम
Stay.
जानी फिट जाती है जब तक खत्म.
Found your weak spot. Victory favors me.
सबको साफ कर दूंगा अब. हुया.
A new era awaits.
इसका चेहरा ही गायब हो गया. बाप रे, बहुत लैग कर रहा था. प्यूरिफाई कर रही है कि नहीं? एक सेकंड, कैसे
Burned
डिस्कस.
in despair, resentful of the Order's verdict, till their last breath. Their last work is nothing but a curse upon us all.
मुझे लगा कैसे डिस्कॉर्ड से गाना निकाल के गाएगी करके.
With our bodies to fuel the fire, the ensuing furnace shall forge Raguna's true gold. Is it saying Raguna will burn to the ground?
They wanted their resentment to echo through the streets. Just by reading this, I can almost see their terrifying faces in the fire.
These voices. They're people of Raguna, aren't they? I think I heard Mr. C3 Sharp in the mix.
कैसे डिस्कॉर्ड्स, सॉरी, ह्यूमंस जो है कैसे डिस्कॉर्ड्स में बन जाते हैं. या फिर मेरा यही थियरी है. अटैक ऑन टाइटन में भी तो यही होता है ना, इंसान ही टाइटन से.
If the poets' resentful souls gave birth to daemons, then shouldn't they sound like the poets themselves? Those voices were just people who read or heard their work.
Perhaps the voices themselves are what causes the daemons to manifest. In the legends, daemons are born of death and curses. But what we've seen isn't like that, no. They're more like horrors created from people's words and imagination. Of course, I'm just speculating. The voices were somewhat muddled. perhaps I can refine the melody. This time, we need to listen harder. Let's find out what the true story really is.
ओके अब पता चलेगा ना हमें स्टोरी स्टोरी में ही जा रहा हूँ लग रहा है हाँ ये क्या है
This
इवेंट
is
है
a
ये
realm created from melodies. Music can transcend space and time to bring memories and stories to life. No. Normally, you can't perceive the frequencies in a melody. But that manuscript lets you see the world as I do.
They burn in despair, resentful of the Order's verdict,
ये तो
till
मैंने
their
सुना है
last breath. Their last work is nothing but a curse upon us all.
It's the same as what we heard before. But
Perhaps it was a simple poem at first, nothing more. But then that article
Oh,
claimed
नहीं,
it was a
नहीं करना
curse upon Laguna. Given that members of the Golden Anthem were banished on the Pilgrim's sail and died in a fire, the notion quickly took hold. No one knew exactly what happened, so they filled in the gaps with their imaginations. With motive and a complete story. Perhaps that's all it took for a lie to become the
मुझे ये लगा कोई स्टोरी क्वेस्ट है करके
Each time someone plays their last work, it summons demons. This is the Golden Anthem's revenge and curse upon Raguna.
ओके
Still, words and imagination alone yes, someone must have used them to create the demons. What if the mastermind pulling the strings from the shadows is the author of that article? Demons are bound to their creator, so it might not be a coincidence you felt them target you at the restaurant. There could be a connection between you and this mastermind. Or perhaps they have their own reasons for wanting to see you silenced.
हमें गॉड है गॉड को कैसे रुके ये will this okay
Imagination knows no bounds. If left unchecked, such incidents will only increase. For Resonators, dealing with them isn't much of a challenge. But for ordinary folk, it's enough to spark panic across the city. Finding the one pulling the strings should be our priority.
wait completely event story quest है resume from choices replay story replay entire story resume from choices inspiration 1x 23 hours लगेगा
If the demons are born from the public's imagination, then things will shift once we catch whoever is responsible for starting this in the first place. This mastermind has gone to great lengths to twist the facts, stirring fear and turning it into resentment. Maybe an attempt to cover up certain stories about the Poet Society. He must be tied to them somehow. If we can learn more about the Golden Anthem, we might be one step closer to catching him.
okay ये इसका नहीं समझ आ रहा
Music and poetry are born from kindness and hope. Yet now they've been twisted to create these monstrosities. Whoever is behind this won't just sit back and watch. The thought of confronting them is already inspiring me to write a ballad. What should I call it? What instruments would fit?
Our enemy hides in the dark, while we remain in the light. If that's the case, we need to split up. With your tenacity and Kona's expertise, we will uncover the truth. Someone has pointed a gun at Cat's Eye. Someone ought to pull back the curtain and expose them. The family has its ways. Tracing the article's source and finding this mastermind won't be a problem.
हम लोग इन्वेस्टिगेशन करना पड़ेगा वो जो कैप में वो था अपना हरकतें कर रहा था उसको नहीं पकड़ सकते कैसे पता
If we find melodies connected to the Poet Society, I can bring the past into clearer focus. I've got it, Rover! I know a place where they've definitely left their mark. Let's go! Onward to new melodies!
वेट यहाँ पे क्या करने आ गया मैं
I really admire the wind. It's free to go anywhere without restraint. If only it could carry my poems into the hands of everyone across the world.
ओह क्रेट वगैरह का भी उठा सकते हो हेड टू द बाद में गाना गाओ ला 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 ये 800 रुपये दे है मुझे इस गाने के लिए ला 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 कॉपीराइट लग जाएगा गलत गाना कर रहा था मैं बहुत लैग कर रहे हैं व्हाट इज दिस प्लेस
Ta-da! Welcome to Requiem Paradise. This is where Raguna's musicians lay their old instruments to rest. For the people of Raguna, the sea is everything. We live and sleep by the sea, and our souls drift out to sea when we pass. Since an instrument is an extension of the musician, it's only fitting that it's buried by the sea. May its dreams be long and sweet before returning to the waves. I'm certain this is where the poets of the Golden Anthem laid their instruments to rest before their banishment.
अच्छा कार्लोटा अपना दूसरा साइड चले गई है इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के लिए
What's wrong? You seem troubled.
शोरकीपर से याद आ रही है सॉरी शोरकीपर याद आ रही होगी और चलिए
Is that what's been on your mind this whole time? I say, if the answers aren't coming, let it all go and clear your mind. To be honest, I haven't found any leads either. But worry not. This is what we bards call a bottleneck. Once, I spent 3 days just trying to find the right words to describe a tree. Couldn't do it. Not one word. So, I stood under that tree and prayed for an apple to fall on my head. You know, just like in those stories where inspiration strikes after an apple hits you. And, well, at least you get a snack out of it. Sadly, the apples weren't ripe and none fell. No free nibbles for me, unfortunately.
इसको क्या हो गया
Try it.
What? How come? तुम खा भी सकते हैं? Do not trust an apple. Frequency apple है नहीं?
Huh.
What?
It's a real apple.
ये कैसे possible है?
Later, when I finally decided to leave, I looked up through the gaps in the branches and suddenly saw a blooming flower atop a cliff. Turns out, even without an apple, inspiration may yet strike. But if I hadn't stood there, I might have missed that unexpected burst of beauty. So, maybe this is enough. Let's put aside heavy thoughts and continue our walk with a clear mind.
आर्टवर्क अच्छा है ज्यादा बात करने को कुछ मिलेगा तो है नहीं मुझे जब मौका मिलेगा तभी बात करना पड़ेगा नहीं तो नहीं होगा
I'm starting to understand why Carlotta calls you Topaz.
Is that so? But I'm nowhere near as dazzling as the sun. If anything, I'd rather be like Icarus in the story.
Icarus कौन है
Soaring freely in the sky, even if it means falling in the end. I sense the melody of an instrument close by. Let's search for it.
Oxel, use the sensor. Fast locate. ये ना sensor. ये ना हाँ. यार इतने सारे ब्रेकेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं। यस, फ्रीबीज
All
मिलेगा।
yours.
देर खेल नहीं पाऊंगा रिकॉर्ड करते समय। इतना तो समझ में आ गया, यहाँ पे कुछ था इन्वेस्टिगेट। नहीं, मुझे अभी इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं करना। अभी क्यों बैठी है? तेरे को बैठने को नहीं बोला। अल्लाह।
A harp. It's in excellent condition, but its tone is flat and dull. Let's keep it for now and see if there are any other instruments nearby.
ओके, अभी के लिए बस इतने। ये तो बहुत हुआ है।